So do you ever wonder why? It's so easy for you to see that a man or woman is terrible for your best friend or somebody you care about, but for yourself, you're absolutely unsure. And then you're also caught guessing of, do they like me or are they attracted? What's going on? Well, welcome back. Today, that's what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to tell you where that comes from and what you can do to make that a little bit easier for yourself. And the best, as it is with most of the stuff I talk about, the best way to describe why this happens is to throw myself under the bus first. So this has always been a struggle of mine. I'm better at it, but as I used to always say, I needed to be hit over the head by a woman for me to have any idea if she was attracted to me. And the perfect story to illustrate that is my second wife. Oh, I just laugh at myself sometimes. Because now it seems so obvious, but in the moment it sure didn't. But we went out on our first date, and I'll never forget, I walked her to her car and, opened her car door, and we chatted for a second and, saying goodnight. And then all of a sudden she goes, well, do I get a hug? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And I remember hugging her, like I'm pretty tall, I'm almost 6'2", and I think she was, 5'1" or 5'2". She's very petite. And I'm hugging her, and then I remember her head going like this, like looking up at me. And I remember standing there going, I wonder if she wants me to kiss her. Like, could you not be more obvious? Like, women don't on a first date do this when you hug. Like, they let you pretty know, as we used to call it in high school, they give you the Heisman Trophy, We'd go out on dates in high school and they go, so did you get the Heisman? And for you women who don't know, the Heisman Trophy is this famous trophy that goes to the top college football player. And he's in a position like this. In other words, he's stiff-arming, somebody would come tackle him. He's stiff-arming them away. Well, that's what women do at the door on a first date. If it's like, hey, this didn't go so well, you get the Heisman. Well, I definitely, one, she asked me to hug her. Two, she does this, is like straightening her neck. And I'm sitting there going, I wonder if she's attracted to me. Not sure. Literally, I drove away, completely unsure. Well, the next night, she called me. Here's a woman who said she never used the phone, only text. This was back when text first started. So she called me, and on our date, we talked about salsa dancing. And I said it was something I'd like to start doing. And so, literally, I pick up the phone, she goes, so, there's salsa here tonight, here tomorrow, and here Sunday night. Which one do you want to go to, or do you want to go to all three? Well, that was the frying pan over the head. I went, oh my God. This woman just called me, and she just canceled 3 to 5 dates. She gave up her whole weekend and offered it to me. Wow, this woman's attracted to me. That's what it would take. And many people get in that position of, God, I just can't tell. Well, let me tell you here why that is. And it's actually very sad. It all goes back to developmental trauma. Now, I'm going to stay out of the science of it. I don't want to bore you with, the nomenclature of the brain and all of that. But what happens, and as I say, I know people resist this, but we've all been through childhood trauma. No one's immune from it. So that's a given. You have been through trauma, all right? But what happens in this dynamic is a part of our brain, the part that allows us to pick up on social cues, is damaged. And so here I am to everyone on the outside. And remember, we can watch our friend and see these cues and know if this person's good or bad. It all makes sense. But the second we have an emotional investment in it, we can't see it. That part of our brain got damaged because our parents gave us conflicting messages. All right, what we went through, for me, I was my mother's favorite, but my mother also used me emotionally. And so and also made me responsible for her sobriety. And so here's somebody who's sending this message, one, that I'm all powerful, that I'm perfect, that I'm the greatest kid ever, yet she's completely abandoned me because she'd get, when she was drunk, she'd come to me and say, Kenny, the next time I want to drink, will you just hug me? So she made me responsible. So there I am with a woman hugging me. I don't know what this means. Does this mean I have to take care of you? Like I had to take care of my mother? Well, screw that. What do you want from me? Like, do you see the social cue? That trauma from the past is coming right into this moment. A woman's hugging me, showing interest. Well, look at what happened to me in childhood. My mother would hug me and go, I need you to be responsible for my sobriety. So how the hell could I ever understand when a woman hugs me what the hell it means? And it's the same for you. And that's why you can sit when there's no emotional investment and your brother or sister is with a terrible person or your best friend is, whatever. And then the tables turn and they're all saying the same thing to you and you're going, what do you mean? They're great. Or we're unsure of their behaviors. Does this mean they like me or what's going on? And so that's what affects all of us, is those traumatic moments in childhood, the perfect imperfections of our parents, their inability to heal their own trauma, that they then ask us, mostly subconsciously, to heal for them. Well, we're kids. It's not our job. It's your job, Mom and Dad, to be there for me. And so for me, that's what would happen to me. A woman showing attraction to me, one, would create tremendous fear. Oh my God, I'm responsible for you. So what I needed to feel safe was her to go so far, like just prove herself beyond measure that, no, you're not going to abandon me. Because the way my mom was, she'd be sober 4 to 6 weeks and then literally in a walking coma for 7 to 10 days. Boom, gone. This perfect mother who adored me and everything, all of a sudden completely abandoned. And so now I didn't know this. I was requiring women, or I wouldn't get into a relationship with a woman unless I saw this massive investment. Because unless you're massively invested, you kind of like me, but you're going to leave me just like my mom. Well, this is what's happening subconsciously to all of us. Now, it still happens to me. Women will smile at me or comment, and I still go, is that because of my work? Is that because of my clothes? Or is she, it's confusing to me. Now, it's gotten much better. I do recognize if a woman does this, it probably means she wants a kiss. So there's improvement. Now the question becomes, if this is your struggle, how have I seen improvement? I've not cured it. I still don't know. I still literally freeze when a woman shows what might be attraction. That's still my first response. Which makes it difficult to date because women want a man who doesn't get afraid. Well, that's all baloney. Every man's scared to death. We're all scared to death. But there is a subconscious message of energy. A woman will feel that fear. Well, women need safety. So that initial attraction that they have, and then I'm freezing, even if I'm saying things, but internally I'm freezing, that can be a turnoff. Subconsciously, they may just find themselves, something's missing. And that's what it is, that internal freeze that I go through. So at any rate, I'm much better at it, but it's still there. And so what did I do? How did I get better at it? Well, as I say to all of us, I don't care what is wrong in your life. There's only one solution. Go become an expert in healing your childhood developmental trauma. That's it. We have to become an expert. Everyone wants any answer but that. Tell me how to fix them. Tell me how to figure out them. What are the signs that they're attracted to me? We don't want to look at ourselves, but it's a waste of time. If we're looking at them, it's a waste of time. The solution is always within us. So that's the first step, is I've done and continue to do tremendous work on myself to heal all of that. The other thing I've done is I've learned to gather information. I just ask, hey, I know this may sound crazy to you, but are you attracted to me? Duh. You know, everyone's scared to death to do that, but I know of no other way. I don't want to sit in the misery and confusion of not knowing. And so I just come right out with it. And why not find out in the beginning? Oh, okay, so you're just looking, you just enjoy talking to me or whatever it is? Okay, great. Thanks. Now I know where we stand. Boom. I can be present in whichever direction it goes. I'm not tied to the outcome. What I'm doing is what works best for me to create safety. And that means I gather information. And number 3, I don't talk about this enough, but that's going to change. Neurofeedback. Neurofeedback has been something that has fundamentally changed my life. And I'm going to start publishing articles and doing more about that. My counselor has now become an expert in the field, and I've asked him to start contributing more. And I think I'm getting him to come out of his shell a little bit. But the neurofeedback, basically the way to say it is this: when we go through developmental trauma, our brain waves get distorted. And so things don't connect properly. Remember how I talked the inabilities, social cues get distorted? Neurofeedback helps us connect those in a way that no medication could ever do, no coaching or therapy can do. It's a process that has an effect no other treatment can solve. And it can solve ADHD, depression, anxiety. It really needs to be on the forefront of how we treat mental, emotional disorders, not pills. Pills are a waste of time. It's the biggest travesty. It's a joke. That's a different topic. But those are the 3 things. 1, become an expert in your developmental trauma. And to me, you need 3 books. Well, 4 books. You need my book. So I'm not self-promoting. It's just true. You need to learn how you're repeating the trauma. And then you need 3 books by Pia Mellody: Facing Love Addiction, Facing Codependence, and Intimacy Factor. All of those books can be found on my website, www.thegreatnessuniversity.com. That's www.thegreatnessuniversity.com. I urge you, under the book section, you'll see direct links to pick all of those up. If you're struggling understanding attraction, if you're attracting the wrong people, and your social cue is distorted just like mine, those will be great resources to help you in that direction. So if you like this, please like it. Leave me your comments. Let me know how difficult it is for you to tell if somebody's attracted to you. And if you know somebody else that's struggling with it, please share it with them. And as always, just look, it's a journey. Just enjoy it.